Hi, I'm Janna Jones, and I wanted to take some time out today to talk to you about a personal, albeit global pursuit that I'm incredibly passionate about. This week, I've watched many courageous people stand up for inequality in our society, specifically gay marriage, and I love seeing anyone standing up for their own rights and for that of others. But let's stop to consider for a moment what it actually takes for you to be able to do so. To stand up for our rights, we must first understand what they actually are. And understanding fundamentally comes from education. Now, when I say education, I simply mean the acquisition of knowledge, skills, habit, and belief, not just that which you may acquire through traditional schooling. Let's face it, our schooling probably didn't have classes on marriage or gender equality, and yet we've learned to stand for or against these causes either way. Sir Francis Bacon was right. Knowledge certainly is power. There's a reason that Nazi Germany held book burnings and curriculum is heavily controlled in those countries that experience less freedom of speech than our own. I'm not going to lie, I've actually had a somewhat fortunate upbringing, supported by a family that were not always as fortunate as myself. There was, however, a time in my life, towards the end of my high school career, that I became very unwell. It was clear that I wouldn't actually be able to finish school, and I thought my life was over. Surprising though, not due to lung cancer, but because my uni plans were falling away. I was raised by a really strong woman who helped me to understand that education is not actually limited to schooling. My mother also taught me that if you're in a position to help, you should absolutely do so. There is no question about that. Smart woman, right? We progress as humans by doing more and being better, and I believe that philanthropy is an often overlooked but noble pursuit. Malcolm X once said, "A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything." But then we've all also heard horror stories of charity organisations utilising our hard-earned money to bribe their way into third world countries, only to gift resources that last but momentarily and foster dependence on donation. So how then do we make a more meaningful and lasting impact on the world? How can we stand together as agents of positive change? I honestly believe that education is the key. I actually serendipitously stumbled across an organisation that is passionate about delivering education, leadership, and personal empowerment to women in the third world, where $230 could train a young woman from a minority group in India to become an effective and engaged local council member working to ban child marriage. Imagine the generational ripple effect that is caused by such an investment. It's the age-old adage of teach a man to fish. Rather than short supply, the learning is passed on to others in the village. Through the girls that she manages to keep in school, they are then prevented from marrying underage, and slowly but surely the education level rises in the whole community. Women educated on nutrition are able to better care for their children so that malnutrition can be prevented rather than just treated. The empowerment that comes from such education gives these women the capacity to lead and represent their community. It gives them an opportunity to see beyond their current circumstances. We could all do with a little bit of that. Albert Einstein said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that we used to create them." So perhaps it's time we started supporting this new way of thinking. This season, I've made a pledge to raise $1,000 for the Hunger Project in order to do just that. But more so, I've personally pledged my time, which is my most valuable resource, and I've done so willingly and wholeheartedly because I think we could all do with an opportunity to change the world. Thank you so much for your time. I genuinely appreciate your support. And if this is something that you also feel passionate about, a donation would be incredible. But your sharing this in order to help raise awareness would also be greatly appreciated. Thank you again. Take care.